one of the things about sanctions is once you trip that, then the deterrent effect is lost. So I think we've been very, very clear that we're going to look at sanctions and economic consequences, the likes of which we have not looked at before or even considered, even as far back as 2014.
The Pentagon threatening Russia with massive sanctions as the UN Council preps to confront the Kremlin on its military buildup along Ukraine's border today. Nigel Farage, former Brexit Party leader, is here with us now to discuss all of this. Mr. Farage, thank you so much for joining us this morning. So Russia says... Good morning. Russia says the UN Security Council meeting taking place later today is just a U.S. stunt. Doesn't sound like Putin is taking it very seriously, nor is he threatened by it. What are we expecting to happen at that meeting?
Not very much, is the honest truth. And, you know, the US's leadership role in the Western world is very much in doubt at the moment. You know, what happened with the withdrawal from Afghanistan, and not just the Taliban taking over again after 20 years, not just the atrocities that have taken place, but the fact the withdrawal happened from the Americans unilaterally without consulting their colleagues who fought beside them for 20 years, now opens up a question of trust. You know, can we trust Joe Biden to actually work with allies? It's all very ironic, isn't it, really? Because you see, he said America is back. Well, actually, America now is really quite isolated. We're not sure whether we can trust them. But I've got one idea of what could come out of this. You know, the continued expansion of NATO and the European Union to the east has genuinely been seen by Putin as a provocative encroachment act. And I was very surprised when Antony Blinken the other day basically hinted that if Ukraine wants to join NATO, that's fine. Well, all that would do is to inflame tensions. And I would very much like them to say today, no, Ukraine won't be joining NATO, but if you do, you know, after us putting forward this act, this genuine act of goodwill, if you do then invade, then we'll take very tough penalties indeed. And I think strategically, that would put us in a more coherent position. But whether the Americans can win the trust in the room remains to be seen.
Yeah, no, that is a very interesting point. And a lot of people wondering, well, what can stop Putin? We heard Mr. Kirby talking about sanctions. Let's take a listen to what one U.S. senator had to say about sanctions.
Vladimir Putin is like the big bad wolf. He is huffing and he is puffing, and he has the capacity basically to blow Ukraine down. He's accountable to no one. We need to sanction Russia before an invasion, not afterwards.
Okay, so real quickly, let me get your thoughts on that real quick, and then I want to turn to another topic.
Well, there's one slight problem with all of that, and that is that Germany's entire industry, its car manufacture and everything else, is utterly dependent on Russian gas. So you can put economic sanctions on Putin if you want to, but hey, he can bite back and hurt Europe in an even more dramatic way. And that is the mess. That is the geopolitical mess the West has got itself into.
Yeah, no, it is definitely a bit of a mess. Let me turn to another topic. North Korea testing more missiles in January than all of 2021, including the most powerful one in years. We saw that just yesterday. What is your take on that?
You've got China being more bellicose towards Taiwan. North Korea, missile testing in a way we haven't seen for a very, very long time. Putin, massed on the border. None of this, and I mean none of this, would have happened if Donald Trump was still in the White House. It is the complete breakdown, post-Afghanistan, of America's leadership role in the West that is allowing all of our potential enemies to flex their muscles. We're in a really bad place, and what the Biden administration needs to do, I repeat the point because it matters so much, it needs to win back the trust of its allies. It isn't going to be an easy thing to do, but they must try.
All right. Nigel Farage, thank you so much for your thoughts on all of that. We appreciate you coming this morning, and we will see you again.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brian Kilmeade. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to click to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page. This is the only way that I know for sure that you're not going to miss any great commentary, any great news bites, any great interviews coming your way on Fox. You can get it all here on YouTube. So subscribe right now.